You want an assessment partner and investigator that has a proven track record of not only being certified to do the job, but has the qualifications to take the project from its inception and to successfully help the client or adjuster navigate to a successful outcome, even if it involves subrogation or litigation. You want an individual that has skills for communicating in a timely manner and working with multiple independent parties, as you touched on earlier, that have competing interests, sometimes competing personalities, sometimes competing agendas for that matter. And it's important to have an individual that's a leader that can bring everybody together in search of the truth and to get there without delay. As Sean touched on at the outset of the presentation, oftentimes these complex large losses are very heavily front loaded with the need for extremely immediate response for scene preservation and evidence preservation, and to collaborate with the public entity, whether it's a fire department or law enforcement agency that may have control of the scene at that time. Just because they have control doesn't mean that you can't communicate with them and get as much information on the front end as possible so that when the scene is released by the fire department or law enforcement agency, we as private investigators can immediately step in seamlessly with no delay.
Sean, anything to add, piggyback off of what Jim just mentioned?
Yeah, I think Jim hit it on the head. You want to have a quality fire investigator, but also a quality company, right? You want a national presence. Large loss fires sometimes are, national companies where they have multiple locations across the country. So having those resources around the country, they're able to step in and help. Maybe an exemplar factory is in a different state where you can have an investigator go to that location and do some footwork for you and get some documentation ahead of time for you. So I think the large company, the national company, is a huge deal on that. And they also have partnerships with other companies, right? When you have a large company nationwide, you're allowed to develop these partnerships with the other entities, the engineers and the heavy equipment operators, and all these resources you may need. So I think for the adjuster, the big thing is to have that point of contact before it happens to determine who they want to use and have that large loss investigation team developed in their mind so that when the call comes in, they had a large loss, they're ready to roll with it.